Hello everyone, thank you for joining. Today I wanted to talk to you about some of our early years learning offerings. I'm going to talk about three different products. I'll speak to them individually, but I also show how they can complement one another. So as you're looking at my screen, looking from left, I'm going to talk about our big books, which you may or may not be familiar with. In the middle of the screen, I'm going to talk about our poster books. And on the far right, I'm going to talk about our big cube cards. But first, I want to spend some time just talking about the beliefs upon which all of these products are founded. So our first belief is that in the early years, learning should be student-centered and play-based. By this, I mean that as teachers, we're observing what our kids are doing inside or outside of the classroom, and we're building on this. We're shaping the activities to their interests. The next belief, which is very strong at ORIGO, is that language becomes the tool to collect new and existing ideas. By this, I mean that although our children might not know specific mathematic concepts, they have ideas about them, they have experiences. And what we can do is we can actually leverage some of this experience or that language and to build stronger foundations. Our other belief is that children are naturally curious and playful. For this reason, learning should be fun and engaging. So we need to think carefully about the types of activities we introduce. And finally is this notion of school readiness. And I've put down here, getting children ready or helping them learn how to do school. So this isn't just about content or developing certain fine motor or gross motor skills. This is also about social emotional intelligence, learning how to talk to one another, learning how to communicate, learning how to interact with the teacher. So all of these things help children learn how to do school. So we want activities that nourish such. Now I want to speak to our first product, which is the big books. Now for this short presentation, I've chosen to focus on one mathematical concept. And this is the concept of measurement, and we're going to be comparing attributes. And our big book that does this is Buster the Balloon. And I've actually included a couple of spreads so you can get a sense of what the big books are like. Now in the classroom, I'm imagining these big books on an easel with the teacher reading them to the whole class. As the name suggests, the big books are big, they're bold, and they're really engaging for young kids. So let's take a look. Buster the Balloon. Buster the Balloon was a giant snail. He was the biggest balloon for sale. So we can spend time talking about what we notice on this slide. Buster was taller than the kangaroo. Buster was taller than the squirrel too. So how do you know that Buster is taller? Do you think the kangaroo is taller than the squirrel? How can you tell? And note how the language is put in bold. So we do this to help develop that mathematical vocabulary. Buster was longer than Marge the moose. Buster was longer than Gale the goose. What does it mean to be long? How do you know the snail is longer than the moose? Buster knew he could hold more air than Barney the big brown grizzly bear. Now, I think this page is really clever because it's actually talking about capacity. Now we don't need to call it capacity in the early years, but we can develop that language of something that holds more. Now, each of our big books come with suggested activity notes. So you'll see this particular book has 12 activities. Now, being the early years, you're going to get a lot of nice hands-on activities. So I've brought up here one suggestion. Here the kids are actually cutting out scenes to reenact some of the things that were happening. But what you're going to also note is that some of our activities reference a big book tool. And the big book tool is actually a digital tool that you can use to recreate the scenes from the book or even create new scenes. And I've just provided a little screenshot of what that might look like. So you can click and drag different pictures onto the board and different labels to describe what you're showing. And note the little play button down the bottom. This means we have a little song and we have activity notes that accompany that song so the kids can sing and dance along. The second product I want to talk about are our poster books. Now, I see the poster books as like a big banner that's displayed on a wall at the back of the room or centre. The poster books tell a story and they have some lovely rhyme. I am big, I like to scoop and I like to dig. I am small, I like to fly and I like to crawl. Can you tell me something else that is small? What about something else that is small and likes to crawl? So this is the type of discussion that we can get out from the poster books. Now, again, the poster books come with activity notes. So as a teacher, you're given ideas as what you might do in the classroom. And the poster books also come with songs so the kids can sing and dance along. So I'm hoping you're seeing how those three different products could be used to complement one another to develop the concept of measurement and comparing attributes. But important to note is that this is just one of the 12 topics that we have available. For each of these other 12 topics, we also have the big books, the poster books, the big cubes, and the cards. Now, we have flexibility with all of these products. As I said before, they're student-centered. So you can observe what your kids are doing in the classroom or outside of the classroom, and then grab one of these books or grab one of these poster books to match, okay, and to build on that, what the students are learning. Or you could have a loose developmental sequence and start from the top. You could start your year looking at patterns, move on to measurement, and then numbers 1 to 5. Because you'll note that our numbers 6 and 10 and 1 to 10 follow afterwards. So although they can be used to support what you're seeing in the classroom, there also is a loose developmental sequence as well. It just depends on your teaching option or preference. So I'm just going to close with just a little photo of what this looked like at a centre. So here the teachers sort of displayed all the resources on a tabletop. And the idea is that the kids can just walk up and play some of the games and activities. While it was great speaking with you, I hope you enjoy some of these products. If you have any further queries, just please reach out. Otherwise, have a nice day. Thank you.